Hi guys, this is Alex, and I am here with my first ever actual tutorial! Yay! Okay, so for this tutorial I just wanted to do something really quick, but a disclaimer before I start: this is just my method. It's not necessarily the right method, it's just what I do and what works for me. I might change this method over time, who knows. I'm ever evolving just like everyone else, so yeah, I just wanted to make this tutorial because I thought it might be helpful for some people, because I see a lot of people struggling with grass. Now, I couldn't find the brush pack that I suspect that this brush came in. I can't find it anywhere, so maybe it's just something that is with the version that I have, because the version I do have is the fan-made one, so it's not the completely original one. It's one where there are extra brushes and stuff. But the brush texture, I ended up just uploading it to my stash on Deviantart, so you guys can download it. All you have to do is download it and put it into the folder inside. You have like a side folder in your programs, and when you find that, just put it into the I think it's called Elimap, and then it should work fine. If anyone knows where this brush came from, please let me know so I can credit them, because I can't find it anywhere. I really can't. I even tried to look through the fan-made version, but I couldn't find that either. So I don't know what else to do, but I wanted to share this with you, so I did upload it to my stash so you guys can get it. If I do find the rightful owner of this, or creator of this, I will link it below as well. Replace my own link. But anyway, to get back into this actual tutorial, I just laid down a few colors, and I will actually make an extra tutorial on Patreon. I'll make a card where I discuss color. You can check out my tiers. I don't want to talk too much about Patreon here, but I just made a bunch of blotches of color. It doesn't have to be even. Don't even think about that. Just think about your shadows and stuff. That's what I do. And then I use this brush in the manner that I showed in the right and wrong kind of illustration that I made there. All I really do is pick the color, and then I do these very light strokes. The only bad thing about this method is that you do have to have pressure sensitivity, which means you can't do this with a mouse. You'd have to have a drawing tablet. So that's a bit of a downside, but it really does work pretty well. Sometimes I do it a little bit darker or a little bit lighter, and sometimes I do pick out the color next to an area so that it can blend in better with the rest of it. But generally speaking, this is just what I do. I sit here and do these tiny strokes. Sometimes I do stray strokes so that it doesn't look all the same, and I try to vary my strokes as much as possible so they're not all just straight up and down, because that doesn't really look natural. You can also see that this is also in real time, so that's very saying. I could create a whole area of grass in probably less than an hour with this method. I also wanted to illustrate shorter grass, because the shorter grass is a bit different. The technique is a bit different. In the end of this video I make another right and wrong illustration, but it's basically just, I don't lift my pen necessarily, but I do make these little up and down strokes where I almost have no pressure when I reach the top of the grass, if that makes sense, like the edges. I don't even know if that makes sense. But with this, I do focus a little bit more on breaking up the shape, because it's so short that the long strokes kind of interrupt each other. But with short grass, it's a bit different because they don't really have any length to them. So For short grass, it's really more about creating a texture rather than actual grass. And that's what I do. So I tend to use darker and lighter colors a lot when I do that. But I do always pick the colors that I have already laid down and then just change it a little bit, if even any, because I could just pick it out from, you know, one of the surrounding colors, because it's a lot easier that way. On this, I actually, right here, I added some of the lighter grass to the darker grass because I felt like the edge I had made wasn't good enough. Like, it's very strong edge, you can see it through all of these strokes. So I just kind of wanted to blend it in, so I picked colors from the lighter area and put it in the darker area, and vice versa, because I wanted to blend that edge a bit more. I could have just done it before I started painting the grass. That would probably have been better, but I didn't do that, so... But yeah, here you see me making these tiny, tiny strokes. It really is literally no pressure at all, because I just want one line. I don't want the 2 or 3 lines it can make, this brush. So I just wanted the one. You can even do this with another brush. It's not really that important. I also left my settings visible so you guys can see exactly what kind of settings I've used. Even for my regular brush, it's there too, because I thought, why not? That regular brush is the one I used the most. That was the one I used in the beginning. I don't know if this could work for fur, but I mean, you could always try. I don't see why not. It could probably work. I haven't used it because I tend to just like doing the fur a bit more random than this. But for grass, it works really well. So now I went back to the like shorter grass because I didn't want to. Yeah, I didn't want to jump around too much. I tend to jump around when I paint, so I accidentally did it here too. But yeah, in a second, it will show you the right and wrong way. You can kind of see the kind of stroke I'm making. Be thoughtful of it, because you still want it to look natural. You just keep experimenting. In my Patreon tutorial, I know I wouldn't talk too much about this, but it will be exclusive to Patreon. I will talk about color and maybe different types of grass, different colors of grass. But I don't know for sure yet. I have very limited knowledge when it comes to this, to be honest. But I will definitely try my best to give you any additional info that I could find. So if you want that, you can pledge $2 each month, and you get so much extra content. You have no idea, like sketches that no one else has seen, or that I don't post anywhere else, and such. So yeah, in a second the right or wrong thing will come up, and I just hope that this was helpful for some of you. And like I said, you can find the brush in the description. So thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you all later. Bye guys.